They had seen many battles across the stars, fleets clashing, ships burning, empires rising and falling. But nothing could prepare them for what appeared near the silent system of Zell or Dash-4. It started like any other border conflict. Two alien factions, Veroan Empire and the Trethan League, had been fighting for months. Their fleets met in the orbit of a dead planet where broken rocks floated and no life remained. The place had no value, but pride made them fight. Both sides sent hundreds of warships, cruisers, and attack drones. Explosions flashed in the black sky. The soundless war continued as plasma torpedoes and energy beams tore through steel and shields. Captain Haroon of the Varoon flagship watched the battle unfold. His species had won many wars. He believed this one would be no different. "Push forward," he ordered. "The Trethans are breaking." It seemed true. The enemy ships were pulling back. His scanner showed a path opening. They would win in minutes. Then something strange happened. An energy spike was detected. Not from the enemy, not from their own fleet. It was from somewhere above them, beyond normal space. "Captain, unknown signal," shouted his sensor officer. "Show me." The screen turned white for a second. Just white dot, then a shadow. A long, smooth shape began forming in the center of the battlefield. It made no sound, no flash. It didn't even cause any known distortion. But every ship stopped firing. Systems on both sides began to glitch. Targeting locked up. Engines slowed. Crew members felt dizzy and confused. In the middle of it all was a ship, dark, almost invisible. Its surface looked like it was made of moving liquid. It had no lights, no weapons that anyone could see, and no heat signature. But it floated with power, like it belonged there more than anything else in space. Harun stared at it. "How? What is?" That no one answered. The Trethons also stopped. Both sides forgot the war. All eyes were now on the new arrival. Then something terrifying happened. One by one, the weapons of both fleets powered down. Not exploded, not damaged, just turned off, like someone had flipped a switch. "We're losing power, sir," the engineer said, voice shaking. "I don't understand." "It's not a virus. It's something else." On the Trethon side, it was the same. Some tried to fire manually. Others launched escape pods. Nothing worked. The dark ship did nothing. It just floated. After 10 minutes, it slowly turned. No engines fired, but space itself seemed to move around it. And then it was gone. Not a flash, not a jump, just tea. Silence filled the coms. Both fleets floated, powerless and stunned. Harun broke the silence. What just happened? No one knew, but someone had seen it. A small cargo vessel, hiding behind a rock field, had recorded the entire event. The crew, a group of traders from the neutral worlds, quickly sent the footage to the central relay. Within hours, the video reached the Galactic Council. The council hall floated in orbit around the core of the galaxy. Made of shining crystal and living metal, it was where the leaders of many species gathered to make peace or prepare for war. Ambassadors from over 50 civilizations met there, each in their own section, watching the same footage over and over. The dark ship, the silent shutdown, the exit. The council leader, a tall being from the Elor race, finally spoke. "Does anyone claim this ship?" Silence. "Is it a weapon of the Trethons?" They denied it. "Is it a Varuan creation?" They denied it too. Finally, one council member, short and calm, stood up. He was human. "We had no ships in that system," he said. "No dark matter vessels are part of our navy. We've never built anything like that." Some didn't believe him. The Calari ambassador leaned forward. "Yet the ship design is close to human patterns. Structure, the angles, even the way it moves. Matches your early stealth models from the Alpha Wars." "Those were prototypes," the human replied, "scrapped decades ago." Another alien shouted, "Then how do you explain the symbol?" On the ship's side, just for a second before it vanished, something had shown up. A mark. A white line inside a circle. Old. Barely visible. but many recognized it. It was from Earth. The human looked surprised. But deep down he wasn't. He said only one thing: "I'll request a full scan of our records. If this is human, we'll find out." But he already knew. On Earth, deep beneath the far side of the moon, a room filled with screens and dark walls buzzed with quiet energy. Inside sat 3 people, 2 women, and 1 man, all wearing black uniforms. With no flags, they had seen the council meeting. They knew the truth. The ship was theirs. But they didn't build it. Not exactly. Years ago, human explorers found something strange on Mars. Deep underground, buried beneath red rock, they found a sphere, made of material no one could study. When touched, it responded only to human DNA. The project became secret, hidden. Slowly they began to understand. The sphere wasn't a weapon. It was a seed. Beginning when placed in orbit and surrounded by dark matter energy, it grew. It built itself. It became the first dark matter ship. It didn't need orders. It listened. And it protected. Now it had acted. Without command, the man in the room sighed. "They'll want answers." "Yes," the older woman said. "But are they ready for the truth?" The youngest officer looked at the screen. She had tears in her eyes. "They saw power," she whispered, "but they didn't see why we built it." The first ship had been sent to test the system. See how close the galaxy was to another war. They had gotten their answer. And now, the rest of the ships would be watching. The Council's demand was clear. They wanted proof, answers, and maybe even control. After the meeting, ships were sent toward Earth, not to attack, but to inspect, to investigate. The Council said it was a peaceful mission. They only wanted to understand how such a ship had appeared, but behind closed doors, some feared more. If humans had really unlocked dark matter travel, the balance of power in the galaxy had already shifted. On Earth, the governments acted calm. The human ambassador sent a message to the Council. "We welcome cooperation. We'll allow a limited investigation." But not everything was shared, deep under the moon's surface. In a hidden facility called Node Zero, the real conversation was happening. Commander Elric sat at a round table with 5 others. They were not politicians. They were part of the project. "Voidstar, we knew this day would come," Elric said, rubbing his tired eyes. "We wanted to wait longer, test more, but now the galaxy's watching." "The ship chose to act," said Dr. Maya, the chief scientist. "We didn't send it. Didn't even know it left the hangar until it came back." "Does it mean it's alive?" asked Lieutenant Rafe, the youngest in the room. "Not alive like us," Maya replied. "But not a machine either. The ship learns, reacts, thinks. It understands purpose." Oh. They were silent for a moment. Outside their walls, the dark matter warship sat docked inside a hollow chamber. It didn't hum. It didn't shine. It just waited like a shadow frozen in time. "We need to keep the Council away from this," Elric finally said. "They're not ready for it. They're already coming," said Maya. "A science team is landing in 3 days. In orbit, the Council delegation arrived with 3 ships. Their leader was Archivist Dalvin, an old and respected researcher. From the Falari species, he'd spent his life studying forbidden technologies. And now, he believed he was close to the biggest discovery of all. He had watched the footage of the dark ship 100 times. Each time he saw new patterns, movements that didn't follow any known physics. His second-in-command, Uran, stood by his side. "Do you believe the humans?" asked Dahl. Ven didn't answer. Instead, he stared at Earth through the ship's glass window. "They claim they didn't build it, yet it responds to them. That tells me more than words ever will." Ships landed in a secure zone on the moon. Human officers greeted them politely. Dalvin's team was led to a research station. Separate from Node Zero, they were given access to old records, engine tests, and harmless prototypes. All useful but none connected to the real ship. For the first day, everything looked normal. But Dalvin was not so easily fooled. That night, he activated a hidden scanner. It was small, like a coin hidden in his collar. It pinged for exotic energy signatures specifically. Dark matter fields, the readings shocked him. They were far stronger than expected. Not in the room, not in the research lab, but deeper. Somewhere. Below, he knew they were hiding something back at Node Zero. The real warship called Ghostlight was quiet. Dr. Maya stood near it with a datapad. Watching its outer surface shift like smoke over black glass, she placed her hand near it. Not touching, just close. The ship responded. A ripple passed through its body. Not aggressive. Almost like a greeting. "You went out," she whispered. "You acted on your own." No reply came. But in her mind a memory returned. Years ago, when they activated the ship for the first time, she had felt something. Not words, but emotions. Like the ship could share thoughts without sound. Now, she felt it again. A warning. Something had changed. Dalvin decided to act. On the second night, he snuck out from his sleeping quarters and slipped into a maintenance tunnel. His scanner guided him deeper into the base. The guards were few, the security systems light. The humans expected trustor were pretending. He reached a sealed door. Behind it, the signal was strong. His scanner flashed red, then it stopped, turned black. The hallway lights dimmed. A soft hum began in the walls. "Who's there?" Dalvin asked the air. Voice steady but low. He heard nothing but... Inside his head, a single word formed. Stop. It wasn't from a translator, not from a speaker. It was inside him. He backed away, shaking someone or something had found him. He returned to his quarters, saying nothing. But now he knew for sure the humans had something powerful. And it was watching him back in the council chamber, orbiting the galactic core. Messages from the investigation team arrived. They were incomplete. No signs of weapons. No confirmed sightings of the mysterious ship. Many ambassadors grew restless. "They are hiding it," said the Zarak representative. "We must send more ships, demand access." "That will cause war," replied the Allure diplomat. The human ambassador, named Lin, stood and spoke calmly. "We have been honest," she said. "We shared what we could. But some technologies are not safe for open study." "You mean they're dangerous?" someone asked. Lin nodded. "Only when used. Wrong. And some things can't be fully controlled." The room grew quiet at Node Zero. The team gathered again. Maya had new data. "Ghostlight is reacting more strongly now," she said. "I think it senses the Council's presence. It's nervous." "Nervous?" Rafe asked. "Or protective," Elric looked at her. "You think it will defend itself?" "What?" "Don't know," Maya admitted. "But if the Council sends more ships, if they try to force their way in, it might respond." "We can't let that happen," Elric said. Outside, the ship pulsed. Just once, as if it agreed. The Council sat in silence. Archivist Dalvin's words still echoed across the chamber. They didn't build it, they woke it. Some ambassadors leaned back in worry. Others leaned forward with hunger in their eyes. The idea of a ship that wasn't just a machine but something older, something thinking, changed everything. Ambassador from the Tresson Alliance whispered to his assistant, "We cannot let humans keep this alone." Another from the Yulari Empire said out loud, "If they have awakened one, how many more are there?" Earth's ambassador Lin stood calm. "We don't have control over it the way you think. We don't command it like a weapon. It protects. It chooses." But not everyone believed her. A secret vote passed that night. The Council would send a second team not of scientists, but of quiet operators. They were ordered to find Ghostlight and gather data, even if it meant sneaking into the restricted zone. On the moon, Node Zero remained quiet. Inside its hidden chambers, Ghostlight rested like a sleeping giant. Its surface flowed slowly, like waves of black liquid frozen in place. Dr. Maya sat in her lab, staring at new readings. The ship's dark matter field was growing stronger not just around itself, but into the surrounding area. "It's expanding its reach," she whispered. "Why now?" Lieutenant Rafe walked in, carrying a report. "Commander Elric wants a full scan in 2 hours. Maya didn't look up. Tell him it won't help. Ghostlight is preparing for something." Mean defense or warning? Outside, in the moon's gray silence, strange lines began to form beneath the surface. Thin cracks, barely visible, glowed with faint light before fading again. No alarm sounded. No one outside Node Zero noticed. But the ship was not asleep. In the secret wing of the Council's science ship, the second team was preparing. They wore no uniforms, no names. They had trained for years in deep recon and tech capture. Their mission: locate the dark matter vessel, install a scanner core, and leave quietly. Their leader, a calm and sharp alien named Orin, believed humans were hiding something ancient, maybe even dangerous. They act like protectors, he told his team. But they have no idea what they've touched. We're going to find out what it really is. Back in Node Zero, Commander Elric met with his team. He looked tired. Pressure from all sides was growing. The Council is getting restless, he said. If they can't get what they want with words, they'll send something stronger. We should show them the ship, Rafe said. Maya shook her head. They won't understand it. They'll try to take it apart, or worse, try to use it. Ghostlight doesn't belong to us. Not really. Then why did it come to us? Elric asked. No. One answered. On day 3, the secret team made their move. They used a stolen clearance code from the earlier science crew. 2 slipped into a utility tunnel near. It's the outer ring of Node Zero. They carried small devices that would map the underground structure and look for the ship's power source. What they didn't know was Ghostlight already knew they were there. In the dark, the walls immed. One of the agents paused. Do you hear that? The other nodded. Something's changing. Ahead, the tunnel shifted. It looked the same, but they felt it was longer now. Colder. They moved forward, but their scanners stopped working. Lights flickered. Gravity felt strange. Then a voice not spoken, but felt pass through them. Why do you hide? They stopped, frozen. Who said that? The first agent asked, shaking. No answer. The tunnel darkened further. Then the floor beneath them turned soft like it was no longer metal. They tried to run. Within moments, they found themselves back at the entrance, gasping for air, their memories foggy. They had failed. Ghostlight had protected itself again, without weapons, without force. It had simply turned the space against them. Maya saw the dark matter spikes on her screen and knew something had happened. She ran to the commander. Someone tried to enter. The ship responded. How? By moving reality. Elric frowned. We're losing control. Maya looked up. Maybe we never had it. Later that day, an unmarked council ship left orbit quickly. No words were shared, no reports given. But the failure was clear. The secret mission had been stopped without alarms, without violence. It was a message. News traveled fast. By the end of the week, over 40 systems had seen the footage. The ship's arrival, the shutdown, the silence. Galactic broadcasts replayed it again and again. People across the stars were talking. What are the humans hiding? Can anyone else build such a thing? Should the Council act now? Some feared humanity. Others admired them. A few wanted war, but then came something new. In a distant system, near the edge of mapped space, a freighter ship found a floating object, smooth, dark, and cold. It looked just like Ghostlight, a second ship, and beside it, written in old Earth script, was a single word. Listen. Back at Node Zero, Maya stood in the ship's chamber. She stared at Ghostlight and whispered, You're not alone, are you? The ship pulsed once, as if answering at ELRIC entered behind. Her? We just got the signal. There's another one. Maya nodded slowly. This isn't just a weapon or a tool. This is a message. It's trying to tell us something. Then we better start listening, Elric said. Above them, the ship shifted, and deep inside its core, a low sound began to form. Not noise, not words, but the beginning. The discovery of the second dark matter ship changed everything. It wasn't near Earth. It wasn't even in human space. It was found drifting quietly at the edge of Sector 73 Lie, far from any trade route. The freighter that discovered it barely escaped before the strange ship pulsed and vanished into deep space. But it left something behind. A signal. Humans were the only ones who could understand it. The message came in Earth's languages, old ones that hadn't been used in centuries. The word listen, repeated again and again. Sometimes in English, sometimes in dead dialects like Latin and Proto-European. The signal was faint, but steady, like a heartbeat from the stars, in the moon base node 0. Commander Elric stared at the translated data. "Why Earth languages?" he asked. "Why only us?" "'Cause it chose us," Maya said. Ghostlight wasn't just built using dark matter. It's part of something older, something that remembers. And it remembers us. Lieutenant Rafe looked nervous. "You think there are more?" Maya nodded. "I don't think there's just a second one. I think there's many, maybe all hidden, maybe all waiting." The dark matter ship Ghostlight rested in the same spot as before, but something inside it had changed. Its outer skin rippled faster now. The dark surface shimmered like a storm under glass. Its energy readings grew stronger every hour. The ship was waking up in the Council's high-orbit station. The ambassadors argued more than ever. Some wanted to bring all human systems under Council control. Others warned that pushing Earth too hard could cause war. A few, like Archivist Dalvin, believed humanity was not the threat. "The ship has not harmed anyone," he told the chamber. "It stopped a war. It disabled fleets without firing. It acted with control." "Or manipulation," replied the Kalari ambassador. "They only acted calm because they knew the galaxy was watching." Dalvin stood slowly. If they truly had control over these ships, they would have used them long ago. Instead, they kept them hidden. They waited. The question is not what the humans are hiding. The real question is, what did they awaken? The message from the second ship wasn't the only new signal. Within days, more pings appeared in different sectors. Always brief, always quiet, and always in human-related code. Maya studied the data closely. Each signal followed the same pattern. A phrase, a word, a pulse. One said remember. Another said reach. One even sent a math sequence only used in ancient Earth star. Charts? None of them gave coordinates, but all of them pointed toward a single idea. They were calling out Ghostlight responded differently each time a new signal came in. Its systems activated briefly. Energy surged through the base. Once it even spoke again, not in full language, but in sound waves that formed a strange rhythm. Maya played those waves on loop. She didn't understand them, but she felt them. "They're not machines," she whispered. "There's something in between. Tools that think, memories that fly." The secret second team from the Council, after failing to hack Node 0, had returned in silence. But one of them, Iran, had kept a private copy of the dark matter field data. He shared it with a small group of military scientists back in the Yolarai Empire. They saw something they couldn't explain. The dark matter field didn't just bend space. It bent information. It changed how time moved inside the ship. It erased traces. It even scrambled sensors just by existing. "This is not a ship," one scientist said. "It's an intelligence gate." The Empire quietly began building a test vessel. They didn't ask for permission. They just started. After all, if humans had opened the door, they weren't going to stay behind. On the moon, Rafe stood near the glass wall watching Ghostlight. He had never seen it so active. The lights in the room dimmed every few hours as the ship drew more power from the core systems. "Do you think it's learning?" he asked Maya. "Maybe," she said. Or, remembering, what do you mean? Dark matter doesn't behave like other things. It stores energy in strange ways. It reacts to thought, to emotion, even to fear. When we found the first core on Mars, it only activated when touched by human DNA, so it was waiting for us." Maya turned toward the ship. No, it was searching. Then, something unexpected happened. A human science ship in deep space went missing. No sign of attack. No distress call. Just gone. 3 days later, it reappeared. The crew was safe. Confused, but safe. And they had a story. "We were scanning an asteroid," the captain said. "Then everything turned black. We felt like we weren't in space anymore. The walls of our ship stretched. Time slowed. We couldn't move, but we weren't scared. It was like something was looking at us. Then a ship appeared outside. Looked like ghostlight, but brighter. It scanned us. And then we were back. The council demanded answers. Humans gave, not because they refused, but because they didn't know what to say. The truth was clear to Maya, Rick, and the rest of Node Zero. The ships were communicating now, not just with each other, but with humans directly. One night, Maya dreamed. She was walking through a field of stars. Everywhere she looked, ships floated silently, black and silver, shaped like ghostlight. They didn't move. They waited. In the center of the field was a doorway. A voice whispered in her ear, "We are not what you think. You're not what you were. Come further." She woke with a jolt. Her datapad blinked. New data was coming in. GHOSTLIGHT had activated. Without warning, its systems aligned toward a single target, a location far outside charted space. A point. It didn't exist on any known star map, except one. Maya found it in a human archive, an old myth told by early space travelers. They called it the Black Cradle, a place where the universe sang, a place that never existed. But now ghostlight was pointing straight at it. She ran to Elric. "It wants to go," she said. "It's asking for permission." "What happens if we say yes?" she asked. She stared at him. "I don't think we'll ever come back the same." The room fell silent after Maya's words. Commander Elric looked at the screen. It showed a single point deep in uncharted space. No stars, no planets, just an empty dark spot. The ship Ghostlight was fully activated and its systems kept pointing toward that location. "The ship wants to leave," Maya said again. "It's ready. But ready for what?" Lieutenant Rafe asked. "What if this is a trap? Or worse, what if we're being pulled into something we can't escape from?" "It's not fear that brought us this far," Elric said quietly. "It was trust. Trust in science. Trust in purpose. Trust in something we still don't understand," Maya added. Outside, Ghostlight pulsed once more. A faint hum ran through Node Zero's halls. Power flickered, but no alarms went off. It was like the ship was preparing for a journey beyond space and time. After a long pause, Elric gave the order. "Prepare the ship. We go together." Within hours, the crew selected for the journey gathered. Maya, Elric, and Rafe were joined by a small team of engineers, scientists, and one pilot, though they weren't sure piloting would be needed. Ghostlight seemed capable of flying itself. The crew stepped inside the ship for the first time. There were no doors. The ship opened for them like a living thing. No engines, no wires, no screens, just smooth. Dark walls that seemed to shift depending on where they walked. "It's like the ship is alive," Rafe said, voice low. "No," Maya whispered. "Not alive. Aware." They reached what felt like the center, a large open chamber with a soft glow above them. It looked like a star hanging in the air. "This must be the core," Elric said. When they stood in that room, something strange happened. Each of them saw something different, visions from their past, people they'd lost, moments they'd forgotten. But none of it felt scary. It felt calm. The ship was showing them memory, understanding, connection. When the ship finally moved, they didn't feel it. No engines roared, no shaking. It simply vanished from the moon's surface. In orbit, satellites picked up a strange pulse. Council ships watching the area saw Ghostlight disappear in a blink, bending space around it like folding paper.
And then
Nothing. Node to Zero lost contact, but they weren't worried. They knew. The ship had left on its own path, and that the crew had gone willingly. Aboard Ghostlight, space no longer looked the same. Stars appeared stretched. Colors shifted slowly. It was like the ship was flying through a sea of glass, where space bent with every pulse. "We're outside normal space," Maya said, reading the strange patterns flowing through her wrist scanner. "The ship isn't following any known course." "Can you track our location?" Elric asked. No, but the ship knows exactly where it's going." After what felt like hours or maybe days, they arrived. Ahead of them was a place unlike anything they had ever seen, a field of floating shapes, thousands of them, dark matter ships, some big, some small, all drifting silently in a giant ring. In the center was a glowing sphere the size of a planet, the Black Cradle. Maya whispered, "GHOS, Tro," slowly moved toward it, and the other ships around it began to stir. Lights shimmered across their surfaces. It was like they were waking up, acknowledging Ghostlight's return. "They've been waiting," Rafe said, eyes wide. "For us," Elric added. A signal formed in the center of the chamber, the glow. Above them changed. This time, the voice came clearly not through sound, but through their minds. "You answered." Each crew member stood still, frozen, listening to something that felt older than time. "We were built to protect, to wait, to guide, and now the cycle turns again." Maya spoke aloud. "What do you want from us?" The voice replied, gentle but clear. "You remembered. Now you must choose." In a flash, images filled their minds, wars long before human history. Ships like Ghostlight defending lost worlds. Galaxies collapsing. Stars crying out for help. Dark matter ships were guardians once, silent ones. Left behind by an older race, maybe human ancestors, maybe something else. "They were here before us," Maya said softly. "And they left these ships for the ones who would come after." "We held back the dark," the voice said. "But time weakens all things. Now, a new hand must rise." The sphere pulsed. A beam of soft light touched Ghostlight. "Get this ship." Responded. It sent the same light through its core to the crew. A final choice: stay or return, help wake the rest, or let them sleep. The crew talked in quiet voices. Some were afraid. Some felt peace. Maya looked at Elric. "If we wake them, we don't know what happens next." "But if we don't," Elric said, "maybe the galaxy stays asleep forever." Rafe nodded. "We came here for truth, not safety." They stood together and faced the beam. "We're ready," Maya said. A wave of energy passed through the entire field. The sleeping ships lit up. One by one, a sound filled the air, a hum. Not from metal, but from meaning. Like an old song returning after silence, each ship began to rise. Lifting together in a perfect circle, the light from the sphere reached far into space. The dark matter fleet had returned. On Earth, the stars above shifted briefly. Scientists couldn't explain it. Radios hummed. Satellites blinked in the council chamber. Alerts flashed on screens across the galaxy. "We're picking up new signals," someone shouted. "From where?" "From everywhere." "How many hundreds?" "Kind." No one had an answer. Until a familiar symbol appeared on every screen, one single line inside a circle. The mark found on GHOSTLIGHT.A. Message followed in hundreds of languages. "We are awake. We remember, and we choose peace." The chamber went silent. Call returned to Earth with its crew, changed not by damage or time, but by purpose. They had seen what waited beyond, and now they would help guide it, not as rulers, not as masters, but as voices of reason, balance, and memory. The galaxy had many questions, but now it also had new guardians.